Okay, lesson 8-3. If you want to get out homework ready to go for 8-2, which is page 627. Answers are 113 square centimeters, 2,464 square inches, 95 square feet. Number 4, 86.5 square inches. Number 5, 124.6 square millimeters. Number 6, 33.2 square yards. Number 7, 254.3 square feet. And I should have mentioned, I'm going to go back here. I should have mentioned if you're off just a little bit, like say number 2, if you didn't use 22/7 you use 3.14 instead, your answer is going to be just a little bit different. Okay, just a little bit different. So if you're close to those answers, very close to those answers, you're probably okay. Okay, pause if you need to for the answers for 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Answers for 13 and 14. Pause. Page 628, if you did those. Pause. And now we're ready to start lesson 3 on page 631. Area of composite figures. Composite figures are more than one figure put together. So for example, if you take a look at this window that she's painting here, whatever it is here, stained glass window, there are triangles, there's rectangles, there's circles, okay? Identify the 2 shapes that make up the window. I already answered that, triangles and circles. How could you find the area of the entire window except for those shapes? Okay, think about that. We want basically we want the white part of the window there. So you would take the area of the whole window, length times width of the frame. Then you would subtract the area of the purple triangles, then subtract the area of the green circles. Okay, moving on, page 632. Composite figures are made up of 2 or more shapes. So take a minute and write down the formulas for parallelogram, triangle, trapezoid, and circle. And trapezoid looks difficult. It is not difficult at all, but just go ahead and write those down in notes somewhere. All right, moving on. Number 1, find the area of this composite figure. The figure can be separated into a semicircle and a triangle. So if you look at the triangle here, they separated them, okay? This is the top part. So if that part is this part, okay? So if the diameter is 6, the radius is 3, so we need 3 squared, which is 9. 9 times 3.14, divide by 2 because it's half a circle. So the semicircle is 14.1, approximately. Okay, so we need to write down 14.1, which they did there. Area of a triangle, half of base times height. Doesn't matter what you take half of, or if you take the base times height and divide by 2 when you're done. Makes no difference. If I have an even number like we do in this triangle, 6, I take half of 6 and get 3. What's 3 times 11? 33. Okay, that's just what I do. You can take the 6 times 11 divided by 2 when you're done. Makes no difference. You'll still get 33. Add together then your semicircle and your triangle, 14.1 and 33. And so the area of the composite figure is 47.1 square meters. Okay, down below, letter A, find the area of this figure round to the nearest tenth if necessary. So you've got a rectangle and you've got one little corner cut off of it. So now you're going to use subtraction in that one. If it were me, I would take the area of the whole rectangle, the 25 times the 20, and subtract off the little corner. Okay, so you go ahead and try that one. Pause the video. Okay, so the area of the big rectangle, right here we have 500. 20 times 25. So the whole thing would be 500. But we have to subtract off that little corner there at the top. So up here, this part here, from here to here, should be 5, right? Because look at the bottom. This one is 25, this one is 20. So this part here is 5. From here to here is 7. So we have our little triangle there. As bad as I drew it as I did, but imagine it's straighter. Okay, so we have half of 35 that we have to subtract off 500. Half of 35 is 17 and a half. 500 minus 17 and a half. Your area for letter A is 482 and a half square inches. 482 and a half. Okay, there you've got a miniature golf course. It is a trapezoid and a parallelogram. How many square feet of turf do you need? Okay, area of a trapezoid. This is what you do. This is what the formula is doing. First of all, you have to find your two bases on a trapezoid. Your bases are not always the top and the bottom. Sometimes they're the sides. Your bases are the two that are parallel. So looking at the golf course, which two are parallel? Okay, this one and this one. These are your bases, this 2 and this 3. So what about this 3 here? That's your height. That's the height of the trapezoid. So what you do with your bases is you get the average of them. So you add them together and you divide by 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So you take your 2.5 times your height. Your height is 3. So 2.5 times 3 is 7.5. Okay? Now I said it a little bit different than they showed it to you. They showed you the way that the formula is written out. It's the same thing. But I just average my bases. Because what that is really doing, I will try to change my ink color here. Let me see what I can do here. Maybe if I can get a blue one or something. I don't know if this will work. Okay. I don't think it's going to work. So what we're really doing, yep, it did. Okay, so if I take this and I extend it up a little bit, and I take this and I bring it down a little bit, that's what happens when you average. You're actually making a rectangle. Okay? So that's why we average them. 2 plus this 3 is 5. So if I go up half and down half, that makes 2.5. You take 2.5 times 3. Hopefully that makes a little more sense. Hopefully that makes sense of the formula. Okay. Okay. Then we have a parallelogram. Parallelogram is just base times height. Now the height, you have to make sure that you're using the actual height. The base and the height are always a 90, there's always a 90-degree angle there. That's why we have this 90-degree angle right here. This is not the height. This is nothing, okay? Nothing necessary for the problem of finding area. So we take our 6 times our 2.5 because that is where the 90-degree angle is. You get 15. Add them together. We have 7.5 plus 15. So we need 22.5 square feet of turf. Okay, pause the video and try letter B on your own. Okay, I found the area of the rectangle first. 15 times 12. Come on and type here for me. Try it again, hold on. 15 times 12, 180. That's the rectangular part. Now we need the triangle at the top. So we have 15. And we're going to do half of 4. What's 15 times 4? Or 15 times 2, sorry. 30. What is 180 plus 30? 210. So the answer is 210 square feet. Number 3. If this were me, I would find the area of a big rectangle, the 12 by 5, and then subtract off the 4 corners. Let's see what they did. Yep, they did the same thing. Okay, the only other ways to do it would to make 2 trapezoids on the ends. So it could have been done that way too, but I think that the way the book shows here is the easiest. So if you take the 12 times the 5, you get 60. Subtract off the 4 corners. And as they show you there, half of the base times the height of the little triangles would be 2 for all 4. Each one is half. So 60 minus 2 is 58. Page 634, there's a hotel swimming pool. They want the area of the blue part. They just need the blue part. So let's see what they did here. Because there'd be different ways you could divide this up. Okay. Oh, I know how I would do it. First of all, I was thinking, well, I'm going to divide this up. I'm going to show you here. You could do this and this. Then you could find this part and then this part and then this part and add them together. But no, that's probably not the smarter thing to do, but it would work. Okay, they found the area of the whole thing. They did this, the 42 times 25, and then subtracted off the white part. Okay. All right, letter C. Pause the video, and they want the area of the blue part down at the bottom. Okay, first thing I would do is probably write in some more numbers that you're going to need here, like for this triangle here. We're going to need a 30 down at the bottom, okay? Because if the whole thing is 150 and we have 120 at the top, that leaves 30 for this part right down here, from here to here. This is 30, okay? Then we need the height of it, which is 50. So for this triangle part, we're going to do half of 50 times 30. So let's do 25 times 30. And 25 times 30 is 750. So I'm going to write that down somewhere here. 750. Now we need the area of the smaller, the blue rectangle piece here. So we have 60 times 25, and 60 times 25 is 1,500. So I need 1,500 plus the 750, and we get 2250. So 2250 square yards. Hopefully you got that. Okay, guided practice. Pause and try 1 and 2. Okay, a few steps here on number 1 because of that semicircle up there. It gives you the diameter of 1.5. So first of all, we need the radius. So half of 1.5 is 0.75. So we take 0.75 squared. 0.75 times 0.75 is 0.5625. Need to take that times pi. So take that times 3.14. And don't forget that that's a half of a circle. So we have to divide by 2 for half of the circle. So 0.883125. Okay, so we need 0.88. Let's remember 0.88. Okay. because we need to round this to tenths. We're just going to use hundredths right now. Then we find the area of the rectangle. 2 times 1.5 is 3. So now we're going to round to tenths. We end up with 3.88 rounded to tenths is 3.9. We have 3.9 square feet. Okay. Number 2, a triangle is cut off from the rectangle. Find the area of the shaded region. So we have 11 and 6 for our big rectangle. So we have 66. Now we're going to subtract off the triangle. So from here to here is 4. 4 times 6, and then do half, or I'm just going to take 6 times 2. I'm just do half from the very beginning. So this part here is 12. So the triangle's 12. 66. Get my writing tool here, typing tool. 66 minus 12, and we get 54 square feet. Okay, independent practice time. I would try page 635. For sure, I would do 1, 3, 5, and 8, because I want to make sure that you know how to do trapezoids for 5 and 8. And then 1 is just a couple of rectangles, and then make sure that you get a semicircle worked in the homework there. So 1, 3, 5, and 8 for sure. Okay? Have a good day, everybody.